All right, running back position. Uh,
Mm.
I don't know that Trey Benson gets the kind of credit that he should have gotten nationally for what he turned in the last 2 years, just a tick under 1,000 yards each season, scored 15 touchdowns last year. And when he was on his game, I know that he wasn't the workhorse that some other guys like an Ollie Gordon at Oklahoma State were, carrying the ball 25 times a game, but as electric as anybody in the game. So he moves on. And it seems like Lawrence Toafili's been with his program forever.
Mhm.
And I got to say, every time he gets an opportunity, he seems to make the most of it. His yards per carry is always impressive. It was 6.7 last year, 6 touchdowns. And then we got the influx of the two transfers, Jalen Lucas from Indiana, who's kind of a versatile player. He's listed as a running back, but he can play all over the place. And then, of course, Roydell Williams from Alabama.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because about Lawrence Toafili, because I think he's Florida State's top playmaker potentially going into this upcoming season. He's been one of the best the last couple of seasons, but Florida State has had such an enrichment of talent, a playmaker talent, I should say, like Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson, Trey Benson. Uh, he brought in Jaheim Bell too, who was a versatile kind of H back, and you could put him in the tight end, slot, wide receiver, just everything. So you just had so much ability there in that 2023 squad. But coming into the season, Lawrence Toafili is going to be looked at as being one of those top playmakers for this football team, and yeah, he's been around a very, very long time. I think him, Maurice Smith, there's some guys that I feel like Florida State has had on this squad for quite a long time. I mean, it's Mike Norvell's first true guy that stuck with his commitment to Florida State whenever he took over in 2020. And, Mike Norvell made sure to keep him in the class. And here he is now going to be the starting running back. This is going to be a two-piece kind of combo with Roydell Williams, Alabama transfer running back. Jalen Lucas, like you brought up here too, is going to be in that rotation a little bit, kind of going to be moved around a lot more. I talked with David Johnson, Florida State's running backs coach, after practice during the spring, and I asked him, what do you see in Jalen Lucas that's different than a guy like you had with Corey Wren? Corey Wren was another speedster that they kind of just, I don't think really figured out how they could utilize him. Is he a running back? Is he a slot wide receiver? Like, where do you utilize him at? And, he sees him more, he sees him as a Darren Sproles kind of type of guy. He's got really good vision. He can see down the field really well. And that's why he's at, you're going to be at that punt return and use him at kick return. He's extremely explosive with that speed and shifty and small. I got to see him in person. He's a very small guy, but that's where Jalen Lucas is going to add into this running back room. But you're still not even, you've got so many different guys. It's everywhere. You got Keziah Holmes, a former Penn State running back that transferred over. And then, you've got a true freshman that looks like he's 35 years old, Mark. That's Cam Davis, former 5-star running back that has had a really nice start to fall camp as well. Bowling ball, but I don't like calling him a bowling ball too much because he's a shifty bowling ball. And I don't think people are going to understand that fully until they see this into a game. And people say like Greg Jones, the former FSU great running back, physical guy. But I see, he's physical. It's just because of his size. He loves the weight room. But he's got more shiftiness in there. He's not a Dalvin Cook or anything. But I don't know. I don't really know how to compare him fully to someone. But maybe it's just Cam Davis, and it probably will be. But we're going to see some Cam Davis this upcoming season. Samuel Singleton is another young running back as well. That's, I think, going to get some playing time as well. He showed a little bit of some flashes last year that was like, oh, Samuel Singleton's pretty nice. But as you can see, I can just ramble on about the running back room. There's just so much talent, and every which way, it's just going to be, how do they want to utilize them on a game-to-game weekly game plan and what they want to do with Coach Yak and Mike Norvell. But it's going to be Lawrence Toafili, Roydell Williams, and then after that, the great part is you have a number 3, which Florida State does like using 3 running backs at sometimes. Who wants to jump in there and get some PT, and you just feel so good about that running back room and the future it has.